Hello everyone, I'm Yang, and I'm in Group B, and my group mates, they are Zixuan, Xiaoheng, Weng, and Zhang. And our project is to create an online education platform. And the presentation has been divided into 9 parts. So the first part is the background. Because of the COVID-19, many schools have stopped offline courses, but the students still need to keep learning at home. And the government also encourages schools to use IT to provide support for students. So they all need an online education platform. Actually, there are already some platforms, but they have some problems. Lack of good learning atmosphere. There's little interaction between teachers and students. And it's not easy to guarantee the quality of teachers and courses. And because the teacher resources of the platform are limited, so it's difficult to provide customized services for students. And in order to meet the above needs and solve the problems of existing solutions, we want to create a professional, highly interactive and flexible online learning platform. For the professional, we will cooperate with teachers from major universities, so the quality of the courses can be guaranteed. And students pay for the courses, and then the platform can charge the commission. We also cooperate with schools. The schools can teach students in the form of live video, and only the students of the school can enter the channel. What's more, students can send orders for customized courses, and the qualified teachers on the platform can take the orders. And any users on the platform, they can apply to be a qualified teacher. And for the interaction, first we will build an online learning community, which can help to create a good learning atmosphere. We encourage users to exchange information, because when there are more and more information providers, the content of the community will be richer, which in turn would attract more users. And then in order to make students more active in group discussion, we provide an online discussion room where everyone can choose a role for themselves and choose different clauses, and then just operate such a game role to communicate with classmates and teachers. So the last one is the flexibility. For this one, we can divide the course into small modules and send it to users in the form of short videos, audios, and essays, so that they can learn in fragmented time. So according to the objectives, the related role is students, the teachers, professors, and the schools. Next, Zhang will introduce more details for us.
Thanks, my teammate Xiang, for the introduction. Next, I will talk about another content of our project to you guys. The first part is the deliverables of the project. According to the different stage of the project, we need different deliverables. At the initial stage, the main delivery is the market report, project plan, and also starting plan. So we need to focus on analyzing the current market of online learning based on the survey, identifying the market share of those companies and project overdue improvement which can participate in the current e-learning market, and also evaluate the usability of the project, as well as human resources budget estimate. At the design stage, for the learning system, the main consideration is the framework, including function requirements, non-functional requirements. Next stage is the exalting. This part is mainly developer of the module. Here I want to emphasize that on the one hand, we design a mobile application that is convenient for the learners to use fragment time to study. On the other hand, we increase the interaction between education institution and users by building a community. Next stage is the testing. this stage is also very important to the project. We need to conduct the unit testing, integration testing, performance testing, and security testing. For the implementation, we need to monitor the progress and the result of the whole project. Last but not least, at the end of the stage, we need to set the KPI to evaluate the project performance and analyze user feedback, which is associated with the iterative of the product. So let me make some summary for those. Those deliverables can be divided into two categories. The first is requirement definition. Define the requirements for the e-learning system, including developing and administrating a service to the current online learning system in the COVID-19 due to social decision restriction. Many students can only complete their studies through online teaching. Therefore, in order to expand users, especially for the non-student users, can also obtain the official certification from education institutions. Such survey is more friendly to people and areas with lower education levels. Another is about the documents. The documents are essential for the project management. On the one hand, different plans are in the different stage. On the other hand, the scope of the project needs to be clarified to ensure that the project can achieve the overall goals with the limited resources. This is a key success factor consistent with the project management strategy. Next, I will elaborate on the scope of the project, such design and implementation of the learning system, the user's feedback collection, and so on. It is very important for the project to confirm the scope, what we need to do, what we are not. On the duty of the project manager is determining the scope, make sure each employee reminds that scope with well completing their jobs. On the other hand, we are also need to clear about the which things should not be paid attention to, such marketing and design logos. The extra works will affect the progress of the project and also the budget. So we have to distinguish these things. In other words, to avoid the deviation to the timeline of the project. Now I will introduce the requirement of the stakeholders. Let me show you first. The investors as the key internal stakeholders are related to the concerns and the performance. From the perspective, the main goal of the project is to maximize the profit and increase shareholders' value. In order to achieve these goals, the business operation are very much dependent on the commercial decisions. The second group is the instructors. While the teaching style changes, the course contents need to be adjusted for the more effective. It requires to incorporate the technical components into the traditional education. For the project manager, also play an important role in the business as they are responsible for the whole project. Moreover, they also play an intermediate among the investors, developers, and other associated stakeholders to ensure that different departments can work together. For our project, students are the key external stakeholders of the project because they represent the quality of the online teaching method. Technical providers cannot be ignored. I want to highlight that the teenagers tend to have more fragment time. We reduce the concentration, and that's often go to board. The purpose of a project is to provide effective and efficient courses. So we need the support from the technical staff and so on. My group members Zixuan and Xiaoheng will introduce the other content for you guys.
Now we come to the Gantt chart for the project. To plan the time management, we define activities and classify them. After estimating the resource and the duration of activities, we use Gantt chart to plot the progress of the project and specify the dependence between modules of the project. Finally, we monitor and control the progress. The project has four main phases. The first phase is requirement gathering and analyze. The duration is 11 days. Project planning and software design, the second phase with duration of 13 days. The third phase is software implementation and testing, which takes 29 days and includes software development and testing. The last phase is the evaluation reporting of this project, which takes 13 days. Now we will present visual perspective of project management. First is WBS, which is the work breakdown structure. We divide the entire project into specific part and refine each part. The structure finalizes the estimation of cost and risk afterwards. The four main components are as follows. This result should allow the entire project to be divided into smaller, relatively independent and manageable units. Both the member within the team and the stakeholders can see the necessary aspect of the project in WBS. Now is the network diagram, which is used to determine the necessary dependence between activities and that can help the project team to better priorities. In this section, the activities in WBS are first analyzed like the correspondence. After this, the dependence between each two activities are described with arrow. This structure shows the necessary activities in the project. This helped to estimate the cost later.
Okay, let me introduce the RACI matrix. RACI matrix is a tool for assigning job management responsibility. And the whole activities of our RACI matrix is based on the network diagram and WBS. And the involved people are the marketing, project manager, product manager, developing, and the testing. In the first stage, which is requirement collecting and analyze, marketing is responsible for it. For the second stage, product manager is responsible for project scope and function definition. Project manager is responsible for early stage reports and WBS, project cost and time plan. Development team is responsible for software architecture design. The third stage is the software implement and the test. Develop team is responsible for database, back-end, and front-end implement. Testing is responsible for test and improvement. Marketing is responsible for study and resource integration. And the fourth stage is evaluation and report. Project manager is responsible for cost and time management evaluation and the risk maintenance. And the marketing is responsible for commercial results evaluation and the final tender.
Now we come to the cost part. For the cost estimation, there are three levels: WBS item and time span, including cost per hour and total cost per WBS item. These projects are broken by the project phase and include application design and business process design, development, testing, implementation, support, and reserve cost for the preparing for uncertain events. The last column of the table shows the total budget for all project in each phase and the percentage of the total budget for each phase. In total, the project budget is $112,000. These are the specific of cost estimates for the first two phases. You can see from the percentage that this two part doesn't cost much. This is the third part, the cost of the software development and testing. This is the most expensive part of the entire project. This is because this part requires a lot of senior human resource and technical support. In this part, the testing phases is the second most costly. This part of the work requires a lot of output and integration, so the cost is expensive. That is all about cost.
Okay, let me introduce the risk register. We evaluate risk from 5 aspects, including market risk, technology risk, structure and process risk, and financial risk, and people risk. Risk 1 is low user acceptance. The mitigation plan is to promote publicity and increase the market and the advertisement. Risk 2 is similar competitive platform. Our mitigation plan is to continuously develop new functions that are different from competing products. Risk 3 is the situation that the technology currently used does not meet the need of the final project. Our mitigation plan is that when selecting the technical team and planning the technical solution, choose the solution that ensures it's feasible. Risk 4 is overrun schedules. Our mitigation plan is to fully analyze the regional planning timetable of the project during the early stage of development. Risk 5 is over budget. Mitigation plan is to fully analyze the regional planning budget of the project during the early stage of development. And risk 6 is staff turnover. The mitigation plan is to regionalize salary distribution and enhance the sense of belongings of employees. And last, let me introduce the core competencies. The first strength is we provide the best solution of the problem. Our solution perfectly solves the problem of inconvenience in offline teaching caused by COVID-19. We provide students with an immersive teaching experience by providing online and professional education service to meet the students' study needs in all scenarios. And the second strength is we provide efficient and practical PM process. Throughout the process of project management, we build a complete WBS and carry out follow-up project management based on it. We have good visibility during the whole project and focus on the result. Our project management process can improve coordination and control of different tasks. Moreover, our project members have high work enthusiasm and clear task direction. We use efficient project management to shorten product development time, reduce overall planning costs, and increase profitabilities. That's all of our presentation. Do you have any questions?